History tells stories of success and failure, of human strength and bad luck. Some dates are remembered for their sadness. May 31st, 1889 is one of those dates. On this day, the busy town of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, was hit by a terrible flood, showing how powerful nature can be and how fragile human life is. The South Fork Dam, which was supposed to protect the town, failed catastrophically, releasing millions of gallons of water. The floodwaters swept through Johnstown with incredible force, destroying homes, businesses, and lives in its path. The people of Johnstown faced unimaginable loss, but they also showed incredible resilience and strength. Today, Johnstown stands as a testament to human endurance, with museums and memorials that honor the memory of those lost. The story of the Johnstown flood reminds us of the power of nature and the enduring spirit of humanity in the face of tragedy. Nestled in the Allegheny Mountains of Pennsylvania, Johnstown was a town built on industry. In the late 1800s, it was a symbol of progress, where the American dream was being made one steel beam at a time. The town's skyline was filled with tall smokestacks, and the air smelled of coal and iron. The factories were always busy, and the town was always noisy. Iron and steel were the town's lifeblood, attracting workers and their families. The streets were busy with children playing, merchants selling goods, and the constant noise of industry. The people of Johnstown were proud of their town and its role in the nation's growth. They worked hard and believed in a better future. The sound of machinery and steam was the daily soundtrack, showing the fast pace of progress. Factories worked non-stop, their machines always running. The workers, though often tired, found pride in their work. They knew they were part of something big and important. The Industrial Revolution had changed Johnstown from a quiet town into a busy hub. Every part of the town showed this change, from the big factories to the small homes of the workers. The town was a living, breathing example of the power of industry and human ingenuity. People came from far and wide to work and live there, but, unknown to its people, a hidden danger was above them, in the hills around the town. This danger was the South Fork Dam, holding back the waters of Lake Conemaugh. Though it looked strong, it was a ticking time bomb, ready to explode. The dam had been poorly maintained, and its structural integrity was questionable. It was a disaster waiting to happen. The people of Johnstown went about their daily lives, not knowing the danger above them. They trusted the dam, never thinking it could fail. But nature has a way of showing its power, often when we least expect it. The dam was a silent threat looming over the town, waiting for the right moment to unleash its fury. The people were unaware of the risk they were living with every day. The South Fork Dam was originally built to provide water for the Pennsylvania Mainline Canal, but it had been repurposed as a private resort lake for the wealthy. This change in use led to modifications that weakened the dam's structure. Despite warnings and concerns from engineers, the dam was not properly reinforced. The rich people who used the lake did not think about the danger. On May 31st, 1889, after days of heavy rain, the dam finally gave way. The water from Lake Conemaugh rushed down the valley, destroying everything in its path. The town of Johnstown was devastated, and thousands of lives were lost. It was a tragic reminder of the power of nature and the consequences of human negligence. The flood was one of the worst disasters in American history. Today, Johnstown stands as a testament to resilience and remembrance. Memorials and monuments honor the victims of the flood, and the town has rebuilt itself, never forgetting the lessons of the past. The story of Johnstown is a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance and the need to respect the forces of nature. The people of Johnstown have shown great strength and courage in rebuilding their town. Johnstown's lifeline, the Little Conemaugh River, flowed through the valley, supporting industry and trade. This river was more than just water. It was the town's heartbeat, powering the steel mills and factories. The river's flow symbolized the town's hard-working spirit, built on effort and determination. Above the town stood the South Fork Dam, once strong but now weakened by neglect. This dam was meant to control the river and provide water, but it had become a threat. Cracks and leaks were visible, but warnings were ignored. The dam's poor condition showed the results of human carelessness. The dam was owned by a group of rich industrialists who enjoyed Lake Conemaugh, a peaceful lake behind the dam. These wealthy people could have fixed the dam but chose to enjoy their leisure time instead. They built fancy homes and had big parties by the lake, ignoring the danger. The lake looked calm and beautiful, hiding the disaster waiting to happen. They didn't realize that this peaceful lake was a ticking time bomb. The calm waters of Lake Conemaugh were inviting but dangerous. The weak and neglected dam was the only thing stopping a huge flood from hitting Johnstown. The rich people's carelessness and the town's dependence on the river set the stage for a disaster that would change Johnstown forever. The day started like any other in Johnstown. The factories were busy and the streets were full of life. People were working, children were playing, and shopkeepers were greeting customers. The factories, which were very important to Johnstown, were running smoothly, making goods to be sent all over. It was a normal day in the late 1800s, but as the day went on, heavy rain started to fall. The rivers and streams began to rise quickly. The sky got darker and the rain became very heavy. People started to worry as the rivers swelled and the sound of the rain and rushing water grew louder. High above, the South Fork Dam was struggling. It was built to hold back Lake Conemaugh, but it had not been well maintained. The water level kept rising and the dam started to crack and buckle under the pressure. At 3:10 p.m. the dam broke. The people in Johnstown were not aware of the danger. The clock struck 3:10 p.m., marking the moment that would change Johnstown forever. With a loud roar, the dam broke. A huge wave of water carrying debris rushed down the valley towards Johnstown. The flood was very powerful, destroying everything in its path. Buildings fell, trees were uprooted, and the town was thrown into chaos. People tried to escape, but many couldn't. The flood turned Johnstown from a busy town into a scene of destruction. A huge wave of water rushed down the narrow valley, taking everything with it. Homes, factories, and bridges were all swept away like toys by the powerful water. The water, full of debris, hit Johnstown with great force. The busy town was quickly turned into a scene of destruction. As the floodwaters went down, the full extent of the disaster became clear. Johnstown, once a strong industrial town, was in ruins. Buildings were turned to rubble, their remains a sad reminder of the town's past. Over 2,200 people died in the flood. The smell of death was strong, showing the scale of the tragedy. The Johnstown flood shocked the nation. Newspapers showed the terrible damage, making everyone aware of the disaster. People were angry and blamed the rich dam owners for not caring about the safety of the townspeople. They accused them of being negligent. After the disaster, help came from all over the country and the world. Volunteers worked hard to find bodies, give medical care, and help survivors rebuild their lives. The Johnstown flood led to better safety rules and reminded everyone of the human cost of industrial progress. The Johnstown flood shows us the great power of nature and why we need to be careful and responsible to prevent disasters. It is a story of loss and strength, of a community hurt but not broken. The memory of those who died reminds us to learn from the past and work for a safer future.